Protocol 1, link to pilot. Protocol 2, uphold the mission.
The Titanfall 2 campaign, a sci-fi story about men who run on walls, turn invisible, and pilot giant mechs, has some of the most poignant and effective character build-ups and payoffs that I've ever witnessed in a video game.
Protocol 3, protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
If you ask me, there are two ways to view this moment. A moment that was indelibly seared into the mind of every gamer who played through this campaign. This story that stays with us. Viewpoint 1. BT-7274 is merely acting according to his programming. He may be an AI capable of learning and emotion, but he is still a program with core protocols that he cannot violate and must uphold if possible. His decision to throw Cooper out of the soon-to-be detonated weapon core was thus no decision at all. At least, it wasn't his decision. BT's action was essentially pre-programmed into him by whoever developed the Vanguard-class Titan AI. BT is simply following his programmed protocol. If that is the case, our praise of his final sacrificial act is not deserved by him, but by his programmer. And I don't know about you, but that's not exactly what I would call emotionally satisfying. So let's consider viewpoint 2. BT acts according to his purpose. He was designed and created with 3 purposes. Yes, he calls them protocols, and certainly that's what they would be referred to in his programming, but has BT grown beyond simply following protocols because that is what he is programmed to do? Does he act not out of programmed compulsion, but of his own free will? If the answer to that question is yes, then BT saves Cooper not merely because it's what he's designed to do, but because he respects and cares for his pilot. That would make this moment emotionally fulfilling, being saved by someone who lays down his life for us because he loves us. Can a machine love us? Can we love a machine?
I think somebody's in love.
A human's concept of love requires admiration, attraction, devotion, and respect. Conclusion. I am 50% in love.
Close, BT, but you're missing one crucial element. We'll get to that later though. First, let's examine BT and Cooper's relationship as it develops over the course of this short but excellent campaign in an attempt to answer these questions and determine which viewpoint is correct. Cooper is linked to BT by BT's mortally wounded pilot, Captain Lastimosa. Lastimosa assigning BT to Cooper is an act of desperation. There are no other militia forces around and the mission is on the brink of failure. This is not a moment that Cooper has earned, though he has certainly wished for it, albeit not under these circumstances. It imparts upon the player how undeserving and unready we are for this incredible power and responsibility. As a new pilot, Cooper is initiated through trial by fire. This is an FPS game, after all. As the first enemy Titanfall occurs, Cooper clearly does not feel ready for the challenge.
Sure about this?
Yes, trust me.
Trust me. These two simple words imply so much. This mech is not merely a weapon of war. He is a companion and combat veteran who has been here before and is confident he can see us through this battle and into the next one. However, what these words do not imply is a bond beyond what is necessary to complete the mission.
Protocol 2, uphold the mission.
We get a sense of BT's attitude towards us in some brief moments in between combat, in which Cooper's wry humor and mild sarcasm go unnoticed.
Pilot, exercise caution.
You can say that again.
Pilot, exercise caution. Pilot, our paths will intersect just up ahead.
Missing me already?
I was not shooting at you. That would be in violation of Protocol 3.
Never mind. It's good to see you, buddy.
It is good to see you too, pilot. The controls to deactivate the sludge flow are in the next chamber.
Note the difference in how the two talk to each other. Where Cooper uses a term of endearment, BT simply calls Cooper pilot, a term also used by the antagonist when talking to Cooper.
Oi, pilot. This is Cuban Bliss.
Your journey ends here, pilot.
It's a fairly simple touch that shows us, without spelling it out, that BT has not formed a familial or brotherly bond with his acting pilot. Not yet. BT's attitude begins to shift when he and Cooper are separated, and the new pilot is thrown into a futuristic gladiatorial arena without the support of his Titan.
Pilot, your heart rate is accelerating. Are you in distress?
I'm kind of busy, BT.
As a response to his pilot's danger, fearing he will lose 2 pilots in one day and feeling helpless, BT's mechanistic, mission-driven mindset softens a bit.
Titan video feed reestablished. Cooper, the houses contain weapon
This is a beautiful moment of storytelling that might escape notice if you aren't paying close attention. By finally calling the player character Cooper, BT is acknowledging a connection beyond mere duty. His care for Cooper's well-being is shown not simply by him providing advice, but by acknowledging the former rifleman as a person, not just a pilot. It's essentially a mirror of how the player's emotions develop over the course of the game. In time, both Pilot and Titan acknowledge each other as more than halves of a deadly weapon. That is not to say that their relationship is transformed at that single moment and a new bond is established. That would be too cheap and easy. And although the overall plot of Titanfall 2 is pretty standard sci-fi fare, the story does not take emotional shortcuts when it comes to the bond between these two main characters. And we see this evidenced by BT continuing to call Cooper Pilot as the story and action continue.
Suggest you embark, Pilot. Pilot, the security lockdown has been disengaged. I recommend we leave through the tunnel.
As BT and Cooper continue their mission in adherence to Protocol 2, we are treated to another moment that displays the growing bond between Pilot and Titan.
I recommend you check the main lobby at reception. I would accompany you, but unfortunately my chassis will not fit through the door.
Oh, lucky you.
I detect sarcasm.
BT is not only increasing his combat effectiveness with Cooper, he is coming to understand his pilot, to recognize his dry humor. Little snippets of conversation like this are an incredibly effective way to show Cooper's bond with BT developing. This is important because it goes a long way towards supporting the purpose viewpoint as opposed to the programming viewpoint. If we're going to take viewpoint 2, we need to know that BT has truly come to care for Cooper. This is only possible, of course, if BT can learn, can change, can grow. The two instances we've seen thus far indicate he is capable of emotional growth, and we know he can learn even from a new pilot like Cooper. For example,
Nice. Maybe next time you can throw me.
Noted.
throwing his own pilot was not something that appears to have been programmed into BT, and yet he will take Cooper's suggestion and put it into action several times throughout the rest of the campaign.
My scans detect a functioning uplink targeting module, 428 meters northeast. My analysis indicates a throw is our only option here. I can throw you across the gap.
That's insane.
I'm incapable of insanity, Pilot.
I absolutely love Cooper's reaction. When he suggested BT throw him next time, he said it in his offhand, joking manner, but BT recognized it for an actual suggestion and now capably puts that idea into action.
Trust me.
Additionally, we now hear BT alternate between calling the protagonist Pilot Cooper and Pilot Cooper, indicating more familiarity and comfort.
Standing by for your return, Cooper. Pilot Cooper, Anderson is dead, but we can complete his mission if we can re-establish contact with the fleet.
That's not to say that he's completely up to date on all of Cooper's idioms, though.
Are you okay, Pilot?
Hell yeah. I'm on a hot streak.
Your vitals do not indicate a temperature problem. Do you wish for me to investigate this hot streak sensation further?
Funny, BT. You're funny.
Apparently.
Even as we have seen BT become more of a friend and brother to Cooper, he still retains his nature as a machine, not programmed with all the expressions and colloquialisms germane to the human experience. As another example of this, Cooper gives BT a thumbs up after his Titan saves him from an untimely gravitational death, and we see BT form the gesture for the first time. I love the little details here. Note how his eye squints in concentration as he looks at his hand forming the thumbs up, and then his eye open wide in this brief moment of excitement and connection with his pilot. BT's bond with Cooper has grown to the point that when Sarah Briggs attempts to have BT linked with the fully trained pilot, the Titan refuses.
We'll get you transferred to a fully qualified pilot.
Objection. Cooper is my pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating now exceeds 90%.
Cooper doesn't climb into BT's cockpit here. BT places him there. It is his will, his choice that enables Cooper to continue on as a pilot. To BT, the player is no longer called Pilot, but Cooper, during what appears to be the final mission, an epic mid-air battle as the militia pursue the Ark and the ship holding it.
You can do this, Cooper. Cooper, ready for fastball. Cooper, aim for the cockpit.
Brief though it may have been, the bonding journey between BT and Cooper is now complete. Their mission, however, remains incomplete. They are on the verge of victory, the Ark retrieved and stored within BT's chassis, when they get trapped inside a ship hurtling toward the ground.
Get the Ark out of here!
Negative. We are trapped.
What are you doing?
Protocol 3. I will not lose another pilot.
BT's words here do not merely express his protocol and his programming, but his personal resolve to protect his pilot. This moment right here, the words,
I will not lose another pilot,
are how we know that BT is not merely a machine programmed to protect us. He is a comrade, a friend, and a brother who was created to link with, work with, and defend us at any cost. And so, when Cooper's life is threatened, BT appears to abandon Protocol 2. But does he actually abandon it? His message of, trust me, which, if you'll remember, is a running theme throughout this campaign,
trust me, trust me,
indicates he does have a plan. It's a beautiful moment because it doesn't have to explain to us what will happen next or what BT's plan is. It simply forces us to trust him, as well we should after all he's done for us. But when BT's desperate plan fails, we have to watch in horror as his chassis is shattered and once again left for dead as the ship crumbles and burns around us. We have lost him. Except not yet.
Cooper, over here.
Of course, BT is a machine, a program, an AI, so he is contained within a data core that can be removed and transferred to a new chassis. It's a moment of incredible catharsis when the newly chassised BT looks us in the eye and says,
Hello, Jack.
BT saved us. We returned the favor by bringing him out of the wreckage of a burning ship, and now the two of us can once more uphold the mission, and, because this is a sci-fi FPS, save the day. And we almost do.
Cooper, the injector back blast has overloaded my critical internal systems.
Once again, hope appears to be lost. But, of course, BT has a plan.
I believe I have a solution. In its exposed state, my reactor core may be able to destabilize the Ark at the center of the full weapon.
Scrambled audio from earlier plays, foreshadowing what is to come.
This indicates that the throw is our only option. Is our only option. The throw is our only option.
BT's protocols slowly form before our eyes as we trudge to the edge, to our doom, trusting BT, believing that he knows what he's doing.
Trust me, I have done the math.
He has earned that much. It is here that BT once again shows us the final, all-important element of love, self-sacrifice.
Protocol 3, protect the pilot.
Whether it's giving up sleep and free time for your baby, driving hours out of your way to console a friend, or spending your own money to ensure your aging parent lives in peace and comfort, real, true love requires sacrifice. And there is no greater love than giving your life for your friend. Who would have thought that a first-person shooter game featuring jetpacks, giant robots, and planet-destroying weapons could possibly culminate in a moment so poignant that it demands to be remembered by everyone who experiences it? This was a beautiful, well-earned finale. The relationship between BT and Cooper is told subtly yet effectively, the bond between them growing stronger with each passing firefight and each quiet moment in between. We have watched BT lose his pilot, carry on with his mission, overcoming his loss by bonding with a new pilot, and now we watch him fulfill his purpose in a final, desperate act of love.
Protocol 3, protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
Of course we trust you, BT. You are our brother, and we will miss you.